There are a lot of great resources out there for musicians and composers to learn music theory, orchestration, composition, without having to spend tens of thousands of dollars on higher education. The problem is that even really good resources don't cover everything, and if you're confused about something or if you want to dive really deep into a topic, you need to be able to ask questions, which you obviously can't do with a book. Personally, I found that before I decided to go back to school and incur an insane amount of debt that I now have, I would read all the music theory books, the orchestration books, and as much as they covered, I was always left with more questions that I had no one to ask, especially with the orchestration stuff because it's such a complex and nuanced topic. So the reason that I started this channel was to try and fill in some of the gaps in the knowledge of students by writing lessons where I cover as much as I can possibly think of on a given topic. Take for example my lesson on dominant chords. There are a million videos on the dominant 5 chord or even the tritone substitution on the flat 2nd degree, but I never see anyone talking about all the other dominant chords that you can have, like special function dominants or dominant chords that have dominant quality but not function. So I made a video all about those. Another one is chromatic mediant chords. I see tons of lessons on the chords and no one ever mentions the scales that you can use with them. So I made a lesson all about the chords and the scales. Another one that confused me for a long time is chord extensions. There's all these rules about which extensions you can use and which ones you can't, but then the ones that you can't, there's always a reason why you can break that rule, and for the longest time I couldn't figure out when or why you could break those rules. So I made a video where I dive really deep into that topic and go over all the rules as well as how to break them. One of the best things I took away from my experience at school was the ability to figure out things on my own. A lot of times when I start these videos, I don't always know all the answers, and sometimes I'm really surprised by what I find when I start digging, and that's what makes it so enjoyable for me, especially with the orchestration stuff because there's infinite things to discover in there. Which brings me to the very description of this channel. As I embark on a lifelong journey to master the craft of composing music, whether it's for solo instruments or an entire orchestra, I create relatively brief, detailed videos for other music students so that they too can learn what I have, but in a fraction of the time. That being said, if you have any topics you'd like to see a video on, please let me know. And if you like my videos, please share them with your friends and fellow students, and also follow me on Instagram. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.